Hey YouTube, welcome back to a brand new Animal Crossing New Horizons video. Today we're discussing Kapp'n and all of the reasons why he's probably returning to New Horizons this summer, as well as going over when the next update will most likely drop. It's a fun one, so without further ado, let's get straight into today's video. So before we get into things, I'd just like to highlight what we're about to discuss is speculative and more of a rumour and piecing things together as a prediction for the next update. Although some of what we discuss and the reasons why are based on existing features and things like that. But of course, if generally you try to avoid this kind of content, today's video may not be for you. Anyway, we are almost a week into July and getting very close to the end of all of the new content that was added back in April, with the final few seasonal items becoming available in the next week or so. This means once the Cowboy Festival's rodeo style Spring You Ride On item is distributed on July 15th, we are completely caught up. Naturally, this has led many of us to assume the next update for New Horizons is only a matter of days away, but more on this later. Now, with the inevitable update looming, there's been many rumours surrounding what the content will be focused around, and given that most updates are based in the Northern Hemisphere where 90% of the players are based, and we're approaching the height of the summer season, Kapp'n seems to be at the top of everyone's list. So with this in mind, I thought it'd be fun to break down 3 reasons why this is probably true. Number 1. Redundant feature. Now, during the wedding season update last year, a new feature was added at Halves Island that introduced 2 new options for emptying your pockets whilst there. These include Go for Delivery and Go for Liquidation, both of which can be accessed by speaking with Wilbur, the Dodo Airlines pilot. Now, for those that don't know, Go for Delivery allows you to send items from your pockets back to your island to free up space. Go for Liquidation is slightly more intriguing, as instead of shipping items from your pockets back home, you can instead sell them on the spot for bells. Anyway, this Go feature used to empty your pockets was added during the wedding season at a time when we were visiting Halves Island regularly, but it didn't really serve a purpose during the event because you only ever walked away with a couple of items or heart crystals, and you certainly didn't need to earn bells. Furthermore, once the wedding season was over, the feature remained and became completely redundant because whether you walked around Halves Island or inside the cabin, you can't use your items in your pockets anyway. So this begs the question, why was this feature really added, and will it serve another purpose in the future? Well, personally, I think this will become useful even outside of the wedding season, and a feature that is integrated with Kapp'n and any future islands such as an island resort that he sails us to. Back in New Leaf, Kapp'n sailed you across the sea to Tortimer's Island, which is a tropical island and essentially a multiplayer hub for minigames. When you arrive, you are greeted with members of Kapp'n's family, a shop, a bell dispenser, and a box. The box was a feature that allowed you to transport items from your pockets or that you had obtained on the island back home. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? So I think it's perfectly reasonable to assume this Go for Delivery and Go for Liquidation feature that now exists in New Horizons was added not really for the wedding season, but for when Kapp'n arrives in the next update, if he does. It makes sense that should we travel to a new island, play minigames and earn rewards, that a feature like the box would be in place and is much more useful on a multiplayer island than Halves. But what do you think? Let us know in the comments. Number 2. The dock. Now, this is a pretty obvious one, but every New Horizons island has a dock, or pier as some like to call it, on either the east or west beach. This dock is great for decorating, and aside from being a great fishing spot too, where you can catch a couple of rare fish at certain times of the year, it doesn't really serve a purpose, and is quite odd given its history. Ever since the original, the dock has been a place where you can encounter Kapp'n and his sailboat, and should you interact with him, he would of course travel the seas, taking you to a remote tropical island. In fact, I don't believe there has been an Animal Crossing game where a dock has existed, but Kapp'n didn't. So once again, I think it's perfectly reasonable to assume the dock will eventually serve a purpose, and most likely in the upcoming summer update, Kapp'n will arrive and dock himself on our islands ready to travel the seas. It's likely this dock that currently appears to serve no purpose is much like the secret beach that at first looked like a random feature, but after a few significant updates turned out to be where Red docked. Number 3. Kapp'n. Now, it seems that earlier this week, Kapp'n once again returned to Pocket Camp to kickstart the Summer Garden event, and although the two games aren't really linked in any way, Pocket Camp often sees seasonal content and characters arrive just before New Horizons. The most blatant example of this was seeing the pirate items revealed for Pocket Camp before they were for New Horizons, but other examples include the Sanria villagers and their content. So, with Kapp'n making a fresh appearance in Pocket Camp's latest update last week, and in time for the summer, it could be foreshadowing what's to come in the next update for New Horizons. Of course, this carries less weight than the other points, but I thought it was worth a mention given Pocket Camp has been used as a way to promote the franchise and introduce new players to the game, so it's possible the two games will continue to share content and similar updates going forward. So there we have it, that's 3 reasons why Kapp'n may just be returning to New Horizons and hopefully in the highly anticipated summer update. But when will this update release? Well, thanks to Doug Bowser, the president of Nintendo of America, we know New Horizons is still being worked on and updates are coming. As mentioned earlier, we also know that the latest content added in the most recent update ends from July 15th, so in just over a week's time. On top of that, we know the summer update will likely bring back the Fireworks Festival events that occur every Sunday, just like they did last year in New Horizons, which means the first fireworks show has to take place on August 1st. So assuming they plan to wait until the current content has finished being distributed and the Fireworks Festival is returning for a second year, the update has to be revealed and released sometime between July 16th and July 31st, which isn't that far away at all. But what do you think about these reasons? Do you think the dock will ever get used, and will Nintendo release an update in time to refresh the Fireworks Festival? Be sure to let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Anyway, for now, that pretty much wraps up this video. If you're an Animal Crossing fan, don't forget to subscribe, as I'll be uploading a bunch of New Horizons news as and when it happens. Until then, I'd like to give a special thank you to this channel's Patreon supporters, as well as this channel's members. You guys absolutely rock and truly help me upload as regularly as I do. I couldn't do it without you. Don't forget to head over to our Discord server too, and of course, if you made it to the end of the video, please comment Kapp'n just to let me know you did. That would be super awesome, and please be sure to include whether or not you've ever used the Go feature at Harv's Island. I'd love to know. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video and found it entertaining. Please be sure to leave a like if you did. Thanks for watching, I hope you have an amazing day, stay safe, and I'll see you in my next video. Peace.